Wi-Fi. Let's put up another question. So I'm interested in hearing from you. What download speeds are you currently getting at home with your current ISP? We've been talking about what's possible with cellular networks, but what are you getting from your wired network at home? Well, you may wired and then have wireless to your devices in your home, but so what did people respond to? It says the highest answer we got was up to 100 megabits, which I think is a good answer. That seems to be kind of the entry point for a lot of ISP plans today. They advertise up to 100 megabits. I know personally I get about, if I'm standing right at my router with my Wi-Fi, I can get maybe 60 megabits. As soon as I walk in the other room, I may get 30 megabits. They're kind of saying anything over 25 megabits is considered pretty good internet today. But with new applications, that's not going to suffice. That's, as I want you to remember, the average is 100 and nobody has more than one. Okay, so that's going to be an important factor. So I'm going to stop sharing the poll. And let's talk about Wi-Fi briefly. So what is Wi-Fi? We're talking about Wi-Fi 6 is the new standard. It's been out for about a year. It came out in September last year. Once again, this is an evolution of technology. It is faster, just like 5G is faster. Doesn't mean it's always faster. Your results will vary. It's not so much about speed as it is more about how many devices can be connected to your network at the same time. Okay, we're seeing the smart homes becoming more popular. Internet devices being used by consumers. The average household today has like 10 devices. I think it's 11 devices currently. And that's forecasted to jump up to like 50 devices shortly. Problem is Wi-Fi 5 might be serving you okay today. But as you add on those additional devices, you're going to start to see it degrade in performance. So with Wi-Fi 6, the ability to support more devices on your network without seeing a degradation of service, that's some of the key benefits. So let's talk about those. Your Wi-Fi 5, which I'm sure everybody probably has today, it supports up to 3.5 gigabits. Nobody has 3.5 gigabits, right? So the fact that they're increasing that from 3 gigabits to 9 gigabits, is it gonna make a difference? Your router will support it, but your ISP is a lot slower than that. So that's what I'm saying. The speed is faster, but will you see it? Probably not. Your current router is probably faster than your ISP today. So it's not about speed. It's about maintaining your speed with more devices on the network. There's new technologies being used by Wi-Fi 6. They're using multi-user, multiple in, multiple out architecture. And Wi-Fi 5 also has MIMO. I don't know if it has multiple user, but it has MIMO already on Wi-Fi 5. But it's limited to 6 devices can talk at the same time on your network. With Wi-Fi 6, they're increasing 4 to 6. Now that's a small number, but if you think about that's percentage-wise, that's a significant change, right? 4 to 6. Doesn't mean you can only have 6 devices on the network. That means 6 devices can be talking on the network at the same time without interfering with each other. Okay, so once again, increasing the density of devices in your home is really what Wi-Fi 6 is offering you. Using new technology such as OFDMA, which is a mouthful for an acronym. And I don't even see my notes here, but that's like orthogonal frequency division I forget exactly what it stands for, but what does it mean? It's where you can pack in multiple bits into a single transmission. It allows one transmission to deliver data to up to 30 devices at one time, which means rather than saying, here's a message for device 1, here's a message for device 2, and then here's a message for device 3, they can send one message to all 3 devices at the same time, and the devices don't have to wait their turn. They can just pick off their data from the same broadcast, okay? So it's allowing one transmission to talk to up to 30 devices at one time, once again, increasing your capacity without seeing a degradation in performance. We also have better security. WPA, we probably are using 2 today, and that's being increased to 3. In a nutshell, it just means you have better security of your password securing your network. And there's an improvement in the technology called targeted wait time. This really is about your devices and your router checking in with each other while they're on the network. They have to have a constant dialogue going on to maintain the network connection. And they're, multiple times a second, they keep chatting with each other. Are you there? I'm alive. Is it my turn, your turn? They're always talking to each other in the background, in addition to what you're asking them to, the data you're asking them to transmit between themselves. They have their own overhead dialogue going on. The problem is you may not be doing anything, but these devices are constantly chatting on the network, and that means they have to be broadcasting messages. And to broadcast a message, it takes power consumption, right? They have to run their antennas and amplify the signal and send it. And that all means it drains your, if you have a device like IoT that's running on batteries rather than plugged into the wall, how long will that device last before you have to change your battery? So what targeted wake time means is those devices they're not being pinged as frequently. They can go into longer sleep cycles where they don't have to have as much chatty conversation in the background. And they can even for the first time now schedule their times to check in rather than constantly just pinging. For me, this is like you're on vacation with the family and the kids every 5 minutes are asking, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? It's like, when here you can say, you know what, don't ask me for at least 30 minutes, right? And then check in with me 30 minutes from now and save all that communication. And by doing that, we're conserving power and increasing our battery life. And that's important to devices like IoT out in the field. Oh, I forgot. Okay. So FMDMA was not about packing multiple signals together. It was that one transmission talking to multiple devices at one time. When I said putting multiple bits together, that was this quadrature amplitude modulation. With Wi-Fi 5, they're supporting up to 256 bits being encoded into the signal, and they're increasing that, to 1,000 bits being encoded into the same signal with like a packet of data. So it's a much wider payload that they can send every time they talk. So that increases your overall throughput, maybe not just your speed, but what you can send per transmission. I think that's everything I have on Wi-Fi. That's pretty much what I have to share. What is Wi-Fi 6? How is it different? Why it might matter to you?